welcome to another episode of Cooking with Chef Aaron. This time we're going to be setting foot in Asia as we explore Hong Kong. Now I know this isn't technically a country, but it's part of China. But some people kind of consider it a different region of China. Some would classify it as a country, and since it's not technically a country and some classify it as like a country, like sort of like a region, I'm going to count it anyway as a separate episode from mainland China. So Hong Kong it is. So as you all know about the protests that are happening here, and it's very sad that it's happening, and hopefully the state of that region gets better. But I'm going to talk about the country of Hong Kong, the region of Hong Kong itself. So I'm going to start with this review off by talking about the largest city in Hong Kong, which is Hong Kong City. And as you can see here, it's very built up. It's very futuristic and built up. Not as built up as like mainland China and like Shanghai and Beijing, of course, but it's still pretty good with the way it looks. I really like it a lot. You can see a lot of tall buildings, tall futuristic buildings, very colorful. Kind of similar to what you would see in Tokyo. It's very nice. And I'm going to talk about the second largest city in Hong Kong, which is called Kowloon. And as you can see here, it's very built up as well, but it's not really quite as colorful. It's sort of like slightly more rundown than Hong Kong City, but it's still nice the way it is. I really like all the landscapes here, like all the shops, like all the colorful signs. It looks very nice the way it is. And last of all, I'm going to talk about the rural areas of Hong Kong. And as you can see some nice green fields. They're not the best I've seen, but they're not too shabby. I think it's pretty good with the way that it looks. It's very nice and green. I really like the atmosphere to it a lot. And overall, I think I would probably give the region of Hong Kong an A. And without further ado, let's head down to my kitchen and I'll show you how to make the carrot and celery stir fry. Follow me, please. Okay, so in order to make the chicken stir fry from Hong Kong that has celery and carrot in it, the ingredients we'll need are as follows. So this is going to be the marinating process, and as you can see, I've cut up some nice little chicken strips right here. You can see some nice chicken in this bowl. And I'm going to be marinating it with 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, 1 teaspoon of lime juice, 1 teaspoon of oil, half a teaspoon of sugar, and a quarter teaspoon of salt. And I have this little spoon right here for mixing. We're going to get started right now. Okay, so let's begin the marinating process. So here's my cornstarch added to the chicken, along with my salt and sugar. And I have my lime juice and my oil. Now I'm just going to grab my spoon and I'm going to give this all a good mix. And once all the dry ingredients have dissolved, we're going to put plastic wrap over this and we're going to let this marinate in the fridge for an hour. And afterwards we'll start the cooking process, and I'll see you all then. Okay, and now that your chicken has finished marinating for an hour, you're ready to cook your stir fry. And to do this, you will need the following ingredients. So we have half a teaspoon of oil, a teaspoon of ginger, half a teaspoon of salt. And I have 8 stalks of celery and 4 carrots chopped up into bite-sized pieces. And I have 2 tablespoons of oil, another half teaspoon of ginger, 1 teaspoon of garlic, 1/3 cup of chicken broth, half a tablespoon of soy sauce, and we have our chicken marinating mixture. And we are going to get started right now. Okay, so to start off, we're going to take our oil, our first oil, we're going to add to the pan. That's our, or half a tablespoon of oil. We're going to add our ginger as well. Our first ramekin of ginger, and we're also going to add our salt. We're just going to stir this all around. As you can see, made it all nice and colorful. And now we're going to take our celery and carrot and add it to the pan. And we're just going to stir this all around for a minute, and afterwards we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so now your celery and carrots have cooked for a minute. What you want to do is you want to dish them all out of the pan and set them aside, and you're going to start cooking with your other ingredients now. So just take all your celery and carrot out, and we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so now that your celery and carrot are removed from your pan, the next thing you want to do is you're going to take your second part of oil. It's going to be the 2 tablespoons of oil. We're going to add to the pan, along with your next half teaspoon of ginger and your teaspoon of garlic. And you're just going to give this a good mix. Make sure it's distributed evenly around the pan. And once it's all spread out, you're going to take your chicken and you're going to add it all to your pan, and you just want to let it cook. And you just want to make sure this is all nice and brown, and once the chicken is cooked, we'll move on to the next step. Okay, and now that your chicken is cooked, what we're going to do now is we're going to take our soy sauce and we're going to add it to the chicken all around. And we're just going to stir this for another minute. Okay, now that your soy sauce has blended into the chicken, what we're going to do now is we're going to take our chicken broth and we're going to add it all to the mixture as well. So just give this a good mix. And we are just going to let this cook for another 3 minutes, and afterwards we'll move on to the last step. Okay, so now that you've let your chicken cook for another 3 minutes, what we're going to do is we're going to take our carrot and celery from earlier, we're going to add it all back into the pan, and we're just going to give this a good mix. And we might just let this cook for maybe another 5 minutes, and afterwards we will do a taste test. I'll let you know what I think of it. Okay, let's see what I think of this. Chicken is very nice. I can taste the sauce very well. The broth is very nice. I can taste the soy sauce. It's good. Let me try a carrot and a celery now. Celery is very crunchy. It's very delicious as well. And this is the finished product served on our plates, served with some nice rice. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next episode.